You ever get the feeling you just moved into a real-life sitcom? Only there's no laugh track, and the neighbor from hell lives right next door? Because, let me tell you, I had no clue what I was signing up for when I bought my dream house in this so-called prestigious, gated community. Picture perfect lawns, guards at the gate, those fancy mailboxes lined up like little soldiers. But, man, the inside was crawling with entitlement you could smell before you ever saw it. So yeah, I had this ridiculous 8-car garage, not to show off, but because cars are my thing. I restore them. I customize them. Sometimes I even sell them when I get bored or find something new that makes my heart skip. My pride and joy. Black Lamborghini Urus, matte titanium exhaust, red-stitched carbon. Fiber everywhere. Just a rolling piece of art, you know? Week 1. Everyone seemed friendly enough, waving, asking about the car, acting like I was some sort of minor celebrity. But there's always one, right? Her name was Karen Walker. Yeah, for real, strutting around with her clipboard, grinning like she'd been waiting all her life for someone to break the rules. She marches over. First day I'm moving in, starts with, "Oh, that's a lovely car, but vehicles like that don't really fit the image of our community." I thought she was being cute, so I laughed. Nope, she's dead serious. Starts rambling about HOA vehicle registration, special approval for foreign sports cars, all this official-sounding stuff that made my head spin. I just told her, real polite, my car's registered, insured, and frankly, not the HOA's business. She just goes, "We'll see about that." And that, my friend, was the start of my own little neighborhood nightmare. She started popping up everywhere, pulling that "I'm just watching out for the community" act, but you could feel the judgment rolling off her like cheap perfume. 2 weeks in, she shows up at my door, husband in tow, folder clutched like it's holding national secrets. She's got that look, you know? That "I'm here to ruin your day" look. "We've discussed your car at the HOA meeting," she says, "and we've decided it's an eyesore. But I'll do you a favor. I'll take it off your hands for $1. $1. She was dead serious. Like she expected me to hand over my custom Lambo for less than what I spend on lunch. I kept my cool, told her there was no way I'd sell, especially not for $1. Her husband, bold as brass, stands there arms crossed, says, "You'll regret being rude. The HOA has power here." And off they storm, muttering about violations and property values. I laughed, because honestly, how do you even process something that nuts? Turns out, that was just her opening act. Days later, the letters started. Official-looking stuff from the HOA. Your vehicle is illegally modified, not in compliance. Must be removed or you'll be fined daily. I sent back a nice little packet. Title, registration, proof everything was legal, and a note suggesting they actually read the bylaws before harassing homeowners. Next day, my mailbox is ripped off its post. Then, someone dumps oil near my driveway, trying to stain the concrete. Here's the twist. My security cameras catch Karen's husband, sneaking around after dark with a gas can, looking like he's auditioning for a low-budget villain role. I send the video to the HOA president. His response? "We'll handle it internally." Spoiler, they did nothing. Next thing, Karen's calling county code enforcement, claiming I'm running an illegal car dealership out of my garage. The guy shows up, laughs when he sees nothing but my personal cars, and leaves shaking his head. But embarrassment only made her meaner. One morning, as I'm washing the Urus, Karen stomps up, phone in hand like it's a loaded gun. "Last chance. Sell me the car for $1, or I'll make sure it's gone." I burst out laughing. "Karen, you couldn't afford the key fob, let alone the car." She turned so red I thought she'd pop. Storms off, shrieking about disrespect and the sacred HOA board. That night, they're outside my house with flashlights, yelling about community property. Next morning, my Lambo has this neon orange sticker, fake impound notice, obviously whipped up in Microsoft Paint. HOA logo barely glued on. I just peeled it off, scanned it for evidence, and thought, all right, playtime's over. I put together every letter, photo, security cam shot I had, and filed a police report for harassment and vandalism. The officer, swear to God, rolls his eyes when he hears the name. Karen Walker again? Half the streets filed complaints. He promises extra patrols. But you know how some folks just don't. No one to quit. Karen sees the cruiser go by, thinks I'm escalating, and decides to go nuclear. It's a quiet Sunday. I'm out detailing my car, soaking up the sun, when bam, sirens. 3 police cars in my driveway, lights blazing. For a second, I think someone must have robbed the place. Nope. There's Karen at the end of my lawn, arms folded, phone still glued to her hand, smiling like she just won a prize. Cop walks up. Sir, we received a call you're refusing to cooperate in a property dispute. I go, come again. Karen leaps in, waving a crumpled piece of paper. He sold me that car for $1. I have witnesses. The officer glances at it, barely hiding a smirk. Ma'am, this isn't a legal document. She shouts about verbal agreements and HOA law. The cop almost cracks up, but holds it together. Ma'am, HOA rules don't trump property law. She screeches about fraud, demands I be arrested. So I just walk to my garage, grab my title and insurance, hand them over. Everything's in my name, legit as it gets. Officer nods, looks at her. Ma'am, you're close to filing a false police report. She starts yelling about corruption, tries to storm toward my car. Cop steps in, blocks her. Her husband barrels over. You can't touch her. She's the HOA vice president. Cop goes, Sir, that means nothing. Right now you're trespassing. More yelling, more threats, until finally they're warned. Leave or get arrested. They storm off, promising revenge. One cop lingers, shakes his head, says, some people think they're HOA. Badge makes them queen. I thank him, but I know it's not over. Next morning, my phone's blowing up, emails pouring in. Karen's posted my Lambo for sale all over the internet. Photos, my number. $1 must pick up immediately. I'm getting calls from every corner of the county. I gather it all, screenshot everything, and finally, I go on offense. My lawyer whips up a cease and desist so fast. It'd make your head spin. Lists defamation, harassment, vandalism, attempted fraud, demands an apology, compensation, you name it. HOA gets it, and suddenly, the panic is contagious. Turns out, Karen's been running this little terror operation for years, faking violation notices, bullying anyone new, playing judge, jury, and executioner. My attorney forwards the evidence to the county, too, along with the harassment report. A week later, detective calls, official investigation, finally. And, let me tell you, karma has a sense of timing. 2 days after that, the same officers who'd been to my place pull up, except now, they're at Karen's house. I watch from my porch as they walk her out in handcuffs. Her husband is hollering about community immunity and neighborhood jurisdiction, as if that's a real thing, only making it worse. The HOA holds an emergency meeting, boots her from the board, just like that. The president shows up at my door, apologizes, offers to cover damages from the HOA's fund. I say thanks, but what I really wanted was peace and maybe to park my car without worrying about orange stickers and fake for sale ads. Funny thing, my Lambo becomes kind of a local legend after that. Every time I drive through the gates, folks wave, give me a smile, sometimes joke, don't let Karen see it. Even months later, people whisper about the Lamborghini lady and her $1 supercar hustle. Eventually, I find out Karen's been fined, ordered to do community service, and blacklisted from ever touching an HOA board again. You'd think that'd be the end. But then, a couple weeks later, I open my mailbox. There's a letter. Handwritten, shaky cursive. It's Karen. She actually apologizes, admits she let her pride and ego take over, and seeing that car just brought up every frustration she had about things she couldn't have. And you know what? For the first time, I felt bad for her, just a little. Didn't write back, but I let it go. Some folks, they destroy themselves chasing power that was never really theirs. Now, the Urus sits in my garage, shining and peaceful. Sometimes I just stand there, coffee in hand, thinking how one stubborn no pulled back the curtain on a circus I never knew was here. Entitlement, pride, revenge, none of it ever gets you what you want. It just leaves you standing on the lawn, shouting at a car you'll never own. But here's what I want to know. Where's the line between enforcing rules and just being a bully? Have you ever dealt with some? Drop your wildest HOA or neighbor story in the comments. I know I can't be the only one. And hey, if you believe in real justice, or you just want to see more entitled folks get their comeuppance, hit that like button, subscribe, and share your thoughts below. Let's talk about what's right, what's fair, and why some people just can't stand to see someone else shine.